According to scientists, when a living being is thrust into a harsh environment, survival becomes a matter of swift adaptation. Its instinctive response is to learn new skills, forge social bonds, and mobilize untapped strength. The Igbo people of Nigeria lived this reality in the aftermath of the 1967 to 1970 Civil War. Stripped of assets, displaced and abandoned by their own government, they faced near total ruin. But from the crucible of hardship emerged an extraordinary transformation, one rooted not in formal education or external aid, but in self-taught financial literacy, entrepreneurial mentorship, and communal rebuilding. The Igbos, emerging from defeat from the 1967 to 1970 Civil War, had lost everything in the battle. This was because Biafra had fewer troops, limited air support, and a crucial lack of naval strength, making it unable to withstand full-scale federal offensives. The Nigerian government cut off Biafra's seas and air access, leading to catastrophic shortages of food, medicine, and military supplies. It's estimated that 3,000 to 5,000 Biafrans died daily due to starvation at the height of the siege.
One of the two regional prime ministers who died was the Sardona of Sokoto from the mighty north, and a contributory cause of the rising was his intention to use the army not to crush corruption, but to crush protests against it. He chose a moment when the federal prime minister Balewa was busy with his Commonwealth Prime Ministers Conference last week at the Federal Palace Hotel in Lagos. In the small hours of last Saturday morning, at the Ikoyi Hotel in Lagos, a colonel sent by the Sardona was shot in his hotel bedroom. The coup was on.
Following a coup in January of 1966, led by mostly Igbo officers, retaliatory massacres occurred in northern Nigeria, claiming between 8,000 to 30,000 Igbo lives. This violence prompted over 1 million Igbos to flee to the east. The Igbo secession in 1967 deepened distrust, making federal unity impossible and painting Biafra's leadership as a threat to national integrity. With this, key industrial sites, schools, roads, and homes were all destroyed. Oil infrastructure were captured by the federal forces, depriving Biafrans of crucial revenue. With farms abandoned and export halted, local industries, including palm produce, ground to a halt, decimating the regional economy.
Well, if you probably notice in my address, I have not closed, in fact, the door for us meeting. I'm quite convinced that we'll be able to arrange a meeting, and I hope they will accept it in good faith, and let's really get on with the job. As I have always said, I think the problem of this country can only be resolved in its entirety between us, Nigerians.
After the war, federal policies compounded the devastation. Under the Green 20 euros policy, Igbo depositors were offered just 20 euros in compensation, regardless of their account balances, effectively wiping out personal and family savings. Thousands of Igbo-owned properties, especially in Port Harcourt and Rivers and Cross River states, were declared abandoned and seized by decree, with losses estimated at over 56 million euros in Rivers State alone. Further, Decree number 46 of 1970 forced the dismissal or forced retirement of thousands of Igbo federal employees and military officers, blocking their re-entry into the public sector. With their savings wiped out, jobs lost, and infrastructure destroyed, the Igbos faced a harsh reality: no government aid forthcoming. In response, they mobilized themselves. Communities like Awo Omama, led by figures such as Dr. Ben Inzeribe, used collective initiatives, Nkushi Nku, palm harvest fundraisers, communal labor, and rotating savings to build hospitals, schools, water systems, and markets.
Fresh water, a post office, our new hospital, a splendid high school, 15 baby clinics, new construction. And all of this achieved by my own people. How could such a poor village produce such a miracle? Progress does not lie in buildings. Buildings are only its manifestation. Progress comes when there is a change in the hearts of men.
With formal finance inaccessible, they made a system which became very critical. They developed a self-taught financial literacy. Other businessmen, popularly known as Oga, personally train young apprentices in real-world skills, inventory, bookkeeping, forecasting, negotiation, and customer relations to build not only competence but confidence. Over 2 to 8 years, the apprentices go from novice to independent operators, gaining both hard and soft financial skills. The master apprentice model doesn't end with skills. It ends with actual seed capital known as Idu Igu.
The Unitarian Committee came to our aid with another simple machine. Regularly each month, our newsletter goes out. By now, our local construction business was booming. Our homemade bricks here became a house for a steady stream of visitors.
At the graduation, the Oga founds the apprentice, ranging from cash and goods to storefront and supplier introductions, allowing them to launch a business without debt. This graduation eliminates the startup capital barrier and turns apprentices into mini entrepreneurs immediately. Every settled apprentice becomes a new Oga in town, perpetuating a vicious cycle of training, capital, and emerging businesses. Thousands of small ventures are spawned annually, expanding local marketplace and boosting communal wealth. This system scales financial literacy organically. Each apprentice learns budgeting, profit margins, risks, and savings, and passes it on. Formal banking remained elusive, but trusted-based financial structures thrived. Isusu savings, rotating credit, and shared fund pools began within communities to support working capital and communal projects. Apprentices and entrepreneurs tapped this system to grow their ventures, reinforcing both personal saving habits and communal financial resilience. These systems evolved with intention. What began as grassroots survival quickly adapted into a strategic economic model practiced widely throughout the 1970s to the 1990s as part of the Igbo recovery. It represents a self-instituted financial literacy program, born not from curriculum, but from lived apprenticeship, community needed, and cultural emphasis on self-reliance. Please don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you think about this video or what you've heard about the Igbo people and their financial literacy programs. Thank you so much.